Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. I know seems like it's later and later every time. Maybe we'll do a midnight show one of these days soon. Anyways, 9:47 p.m., September 23rd, 2025, in the year of our Lord. Happy Feast of Saint Padre Pio. Also, if you know this, is celebrating the Eastern Church. Today is also the, just went stupid. The conception of St. John the Baptist. If I don't know how many of y'all thought about that one. And if you go to the channel and see, I did Butler's one year, Garanger one year, Butler's the next year, and then I did. They don't have it, but I did as close as I could to the Eastern Butler's, let's say, an Eastern Saints of the Week, and in that, only about 200 people actually watched those ones. Today is the conception of the Feast of Conception of St. John the Baptist. Did you know? You learn something new every day. Anyway, let's get right to it. First off, let's get to the people in the chat. Amy, all you guys out there, thank you for showing up. Miss Melsler, you mentioned about a Paramount tactical video. Go ahead and send it to me. Thank you for thinking about doing that. I'm open to see anything. So yeah, send whatever you want to me. I saw that. I brought that up yesterday because I've seen 12 military guys talk about that, saying there was 9. Obviously, you can see his nipple, his chest. You can see that in his T-shirt. And you won't be able to see that with body armor on. But still, I mean, unless the deflection thing is kind of like a John Wick thing. I mean, you talk about a hit and then bounce up, and then you got the other evidence that came out today about I can't remember. I could bring that video. I forgot to. That comes from the right, and if it comes from the right down, then it definitely doesn't have anything to do with body armor. And then if you go with the narrative that it went straight ahead through there's no body armor anyway. So the body armor thing isn't. I don't see that as being very relevant in that at all, because if that was the case, you'd see a problem on the shirt, like a mark or something. And I don't think there's any marks on any shirt, even though you don't even see hey, who knows? Hey, we don't know. We will never know exactly what happened. We are just going to get told what to do. Anyway, I got some crazy stuff to go with that from last night, from yesterday onto today. And even, I mean, I don't have it in rotation. I saw Fuentes on X tweet out, because I guess TPUSA is sending out emails about joining, and I guess the verbiage is kind of weird in a sense. So anyways, I think it's going to get weird for those guys coming up in the not so distant future. It's pretty much going to be a daily planet, a Daily Wire 2.0 type deal thing. Who is it saying? Common body armor does nothing for the neck. Exactly. I don't know who brought up the body armor thing at first. I was like, why are you even worried about the body armor? The whole narrative has nothing to do with the body armor. And if it was thin body armor, it's not going to do anything for a 30-06 straight away like that. But anyways, like I said, there's another one you could check out. I shared it on X last night. He's got a little bit more. There's a guy in a bush on the top of the building, which is funny because he says the algorithm's not going to let him show this, and he's got like 1.9 million views. How's the algorithm not working? I'm just jacked that 5,000 people see a video. You got 1.6, and you're worried about the algorithm. Anyways, let's get to the clowniness, ladies and gents. And I saw this, and all I could think of is back in the day in my basketball days of hip hop and all that. M16 Mojo, hey man, sir or madam, that's great. That's the kind of messages I like seeing to keep me going every day on that. I appreciate that. I would say the same thing too. Not only am I the president, I am a client. You remember the Just for Men commercials? Yes, I used to never do live stuff, and started doing the Clown Planet this way. I got other ideas if I can find time. Fun ideas too to go with it and to put on the channel. Tons of ideas, and eventually we'll get to it. I had exactly 9 months and 23 days ago. I was going to start a new thing up, and it's 9 months and 23 days later. I still haven't done it. So eventually, one day, I'll get to it. All I could think of is this: if you know this, you see me rolling, they hating. Somehow the cross on wheels tops the fireworks eulogy as the epitome of evangelicalism. All I can see this, I kept retweeting this out, going, carry thy cross on 22s. Get some custom frames on them on that cross there. You're talking about just, and people were going, well, what you expected him? He's walking around in a Coliseum with it. I don't know, either not bring it or drag it. One of the two. Why don't you just put somebody in a wheelbarrow and just have them wheel it out to you? Just the optics of that. Hey, I'm carrying a cross. You want a lemonade to go with that on that? You want somebody planting a banana leaves at you too? Just a little weird, but the whole thing was just a pep rally spectacle. And it wasn't a memorial service. It was a praise and worship thing. And then I saw people saying how great the Catholics were for saying, I go, yeah, you talking about Rubio, the guy that just got done kissing the wall for a week over in Israel? The guy that's most Zionist design puts the Zion in Zionism. That guy, that's your leader. We need more. We need better leaders. And then you get, JD Vance did great. Oh yeah, Vance. He's out there saying, I don't care about killing anybody in the Caribbean. Wait, time now. We're upset about one guy podcasting, but he can go out and kill anybody he wants. Figure it out. Can't be both. Again, I'm not trying to be insensitive to the other guy. I'm just saying, hey, if one guy says if you're upset that one guy got killed, but we're okay with bombing anybody, it's in the sea right now. We got a disconnect going on. So, anyways, let's go. Or we're both barefooted. Barefooted would be a good idea too, kind of like in the way of Halsentius with the exaltation of the cross. And there's just they were doing anything they can to outspark everything. And then all of a sudden you see all the tweets. There's this one guy out here. He's making hats about let's make American Christian again. And go. So I wrote a retweet. These guys, what flavor, what Baskin Robbins flavor of Christianity do you want? Because they're all centralists. So obviously you want one big thing for it. There is one religion that's like that. So which one do you want? Which one is your flavor? You want the Pentecostals? You want the Presbyterian? You want the Calvinists? Which Baptist? Are you Baptist? First Baptist, Southern Baptist, Second Baptist, something down the street Baptist, Kumbaya Baptist, Calvinist, Lutheran, Second Lutheran, Holy Lutheran, Big Don Lutheran, Big John, Bible study, Bible church, this Bible church, the mattress church, the New Spring church. We call it that mattress because it sounds like a mattress. The elevation groups, the light shows and all. Which one do you want? But Naked Christian. Which none of what they won't say. They'll definitely. You want the fangs to come out? Yeah, everyone loves these guys now. Say that you want this to be Catholicism. Oh, all of a sudden we're now we got some division going on. So yeah, don't sell out to the false ecumenism that's going on too. It's cute. It's emotional. It feels good. But that's it. It's just emotionalism. In 2 weeks, like they keep saying, this has changed. This is a turning point. Yeah, it's the memes. It's not going to be like this in a couple weeks, a couple months, definitely not. But they're using it right now, especially for things like last week when they said after the shooting, they ended up putting a bill out to smack down the Epstein vote and other things. Don't worry, we got more on that soon. Homeland Security. Retweeting, to be clear, we will not comply with Gruesome Newsom's unconstitutional mask ban. At the time, the ICE law enforcement faces 1,000% increase in assaults, and the family members are being doxxed and targeted. It's we don't like being doxxed now. I thought we're supposed to be doxxing everybody. You don't like Charlie Kirk? Apparently, you're supposed to dox everybody. Now we're against doxing. What is it? Fox News saying now you don't want to be doxing people. I thought everyone was talking about doxing people just 48 hours ago. And Catholics are even talking about doxing people. We got websites doxing people, but don't dox the ICE guys. Huh? Again, we're all over the place. But the funny part about this is Gruesome is trying to make a mask ban. The same state that ended up making a mask 4 or 5 years ago, you couldn't walk outside. You get arrested or fined if you didn't have a muzzle on your face. Now it's a mask ban. So again, why do you think we call it Clown Planet? It is clownish out there. You can't get it now. If he wants to ban it in California, great. Now he can't do it to the feds. That's the problem they got on. He's trying to push it so that he can do it to the feds, and he can't do that. The thing it'd be great to do if he would just break away from the union and do, he just go on his own, but he wants to be El Presidomer, so that's why he does. Maria, hey, thanks for just hanging out for a couple minutes. It'll be up the rest of the day tomorrow too. Well, it'll be on replay later. But hey, no, appreciate you. Here's a music's legal showdown. AI music is under attack. Why the Suno lawsuit and Copyright Office ruling matters for creators. Now, again, remember, this is all the show notes are underneath. There's a link that takes you to the censusmedallion.com website where all the links are right there for your viewing pleasure if you want to send out to anybody. This is a AI lawsuit, what every artist needs to know. The world of AI music generators is facing a major legal challenge. Universal Music Group, Sony Music Entertainment, and Warner Music Group have filed a high-profile lawsuit against SUNY case, blah, 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 alleging copyright infringement for willfully using copyrighted songs to train its AI model. This video breaks down the core issues of the stance of the U.S. Copyright Office and what every artist needs to know to protect their work, which is kind of funny because if you listen to any kind of rap, they've actually taken every song known to man and changed it for their own. I mean, it's kind of comical. This guy was tagging Media Monarchy and Secret Sunblog on this because here's a band called Massive Attack used facial recognition to display faces and names of the audience. This shows the capability to recognize a person in a crowd. Regimes like China exploit these tools that are already part of their people's way of life. I follow Media Monarchy because I like his morning show. Don't watch it without Video Angel, which you can't. He cusses a little too much. But he brings stuff like this out that you're not going to see a lot of. This was a concert. Not a big band, not a very popular band, but it's I guess like a cult following band type deal. And they put everyone's face so that they could see themselves on the board from the facial rec that they have at the concerts. So if these little bands have stuff like that, great googly moogly. What do you think about the big dogs? How do you think they found Leo in the crowd at the White Sox game? 15 years ago, was it? They used facial rec. That's how somebody found it that quick. You think somebody went, oh, yeah, I remember the White Sox game. He was in section 222, row 4, seat 6. No, they used facial rec to find it, and they found that quick. And that's why they was posted over. It was like, how do they find it? Facial rec, this. It will be everywhere. Again, this is a little band. Ain't nobody on here knows who that is. I'm not sure, but I think YouTube removes links. I added it twice and it appears. Yeah, it depends on the link. Just email me, Steve at censusmedallion.com. Depends on the link. There are still links that you can't tweet, Facebook won't post, or you can't put on YouTube. It just depends on the thing. Yeah, they're still doing stuff like that. Texas Governor, Zionist and Catholic, Abbott signs transgender bathroom bill into law. Texas Governor Greg Abbott on September 22nd signed a bill into law that requires people to use bathrooms and other facilities according to their biological sex. When going back in time here, 2014, 2013, 2015, former governor of North Kakalaki here, he was the last governor to stand against the bathroom stuff, and everyone was boycotting the state of North Carolina for it. It's cool now. It's easy to say, oh yeah, we gotta kick those guys out of the bath. Where was Texas during that stuff? It's easy now. Scientists behind Trump's Tylenol claims was paid $150,000 to give evidence against the drug maker. Harvard academic Andre Becciarelli gave an unreliable testimony on the links between autism and paracetamol and produced research that raises serious concerns about bias. Once Future Kings President DJT claimed that pregnant women can give babies autism by using Tylenol is partially based on a study by a scientist who was previously paid $150,000 to give expert advice in a claim against the drug manufacturers. You want to check it out, listen to it in show notes. Now, I don't agree something with that. There's other things, again, like what kids get jabbed up with when they're right off the bat born. I we try to stay away from Tylenol anytime because, I got into, thanks to Judson Carroll out there, you screwed up my life on this. All the natural stuff, I'm all in on that, which I got a big milkweed plant. If you don't have milkweed, put a milkweed plant down so that monarch butterflies can come and grow and drop some seed and more monarchs can come. They need a little break from flying from Mexico to Canada and then Canada to Mexico. They do it twice, back and forth. So they got a long trip. We got monarchs all over the place. I got this milkweed back there. It's huge. And I look back today because I went out and watered the garden and checked out. It's like, man, the flowers don't look like they're done because a bee actually died on the flower. Like, how did that happen? This thing is covered with caterpillars. So there's at least 20 on that thing. And we got on the front little cocoons all over the place, cocoons in the back too. It's cool. And anyway, yeah, it's good for the monarchs. They need some help, especially with everyone spraying everything. Off topic, I know. Here's the high wire. You cannot make this up. Liberals are now overdosing on Tylenol on TikTok. Someone stop this before someone gets hurt. Because of the whole, just like anything else, I'm going to hurt myself because my politics. It's just anytime you see something like that, people now, who knows if this is really legit or anything like that, but don't push it too far. I mean, how many kids were eating iPods years ago? The EU need to know. The EU need to know. U.S. travelers will be fingerprinted before flights on new October 12th border law hitting 29 countries. U.S. travelers will be fingerprinted before flights in new October. We already said that. Travelers in the United States are being urged to ensure that they have the correct Security registration before arriving in nearly 30 European countries from next month. A new law will affect hundreds of thousands of passengers traveling to 29 countries in Europe from October 12th on. There are now new rules for U.S. travelers following the introduction of European Union's entry-exit system. I remember hearing something about that. You know what? Just because they said that, let me play that video. Entry-exit system. Does anybody remember that? Warning about milkweed, it spreads horribly, at which point it is impossible to contain. Great plant, but use containers. No, yeah. Well, I got it. It's in a little section back in the back. I'm at a rental anyways. And it hasn't moved anywhere. It's funny. I got holy basil growing. That's all over the place because when it goes to the seed, birds love it and they'll just drop seed all over the place. There's actually holy basil all over the neighborhood. I haven't told anybody that it's because of me. But that's good. That's good stuff anyways. Back to me thinking about that. Where is it? Biometric prison. Oh, yes.
We'll finally complete the biometric entry-exit visa tracking system, which we need desperately. We will ensure that this system is in place. And I will tell you, it will be on land, it will be on sea, it will be in air. We will.
So okay, I've been playing this for how long on News from the Pew and others. This is from his first reign. Complete the biometric entry-exit visa tracking system. Again, let me delete that back here. European Union's entry-exit system, a digital border program that requires travelers to register each time they then enter a country in the specific zone. The system comprises e-gates and computerized system, which will automatically check passengers at the external borders of countries in the whatever area. What do we nickname today? Told you so Tuesday? If it happens in the EU, it's happening here later. Explosion reported in central Oslo as emergency response services responded. My day in America's murder capital, where 12-year-olds have weapons. One reporter went on patrol with police in Jackson, Mississippi Queen, which has a homicide rate 15 times the national average. I thought at first, was that an Under Armour? Now there's body armor for you. Kirk was not wearing that. Guarantee that one. NASA plans first crew mission, a moon mission, in 50 years for February 2026. I'm not getting into that joke. Everyone knows the thought process on that. Why haven't we been there in 50 years? things like that. 4chan trolls black Indian H-1B visa holders from booking flights amid $100,000 visa fee panic. Racism disguised as trolling. You see me trolling, hating. 4chan users launched Operation Clog the Toilet, deliberately blocking India's U.S. flight bookings amid panic over $100,000 H-1B visa fee. If you can't laugh, cry, right? Causing ticket shortages and skyrocket fares. The campaign sparked outrage as many condemned it as racist and disguised as online trolling, even as the White House clarified the fee only applies to new visa applicants. 4chaners. Operation Clog the Toilet. Hey, what are we going to name it? Name it Clog the Toilet. Brilliant. And here's, like I said, if you want to watch more, here's a 30-minute thing from the Times of India. Trump's H-1B visa shock, how it will hurt America, not just India. U.S. Once the future came, U.S. President DJT has imposed a $100,000 annual fee on companies hiring H-1B visa workers, citing abuse of the program as a national security threat and a factor undermining American wages and jobs, particularly in the tech and sectors. The new order restricts entry of foreign workers unless the fee is paid, arguing that outsourcing firms have exploited the system to replace American workers with lower paid labor, causing layoffs and making it difficult for U.S. college graduates to secure IT jobs after they just got done paying $100,000 of loans just to get their basket weaving degree. TOI's, Times of India, U.S. correspondent, not even going to try it, explains why this decision has wider ramifications and consequences and repercussions, not just for Indians, but for America too. And it just goes on for the rest of the time on there. They have to reissue this one. Here is how America tax dollars prop up Israel's zombie economy. And the first thing all I could think of was, what's in your head? Zombie, zombie. For decades, the unwavering support of the U.S. government for Israel has constantly prioritized Israeli interests. Maybe we'll come up with a Cloud Planet CD, best hits one of these days. I don't know. Get Enoch involved on it. Economist Thomas Schaffer estimated U.S. support for Israel cost taxpayers $1.6 trillion between 1973 and 2002. Using this formula, a conservative estimate places that cost at approximately $3 trillion by 2024, which is equivalent to 8% of the current $37 trillion U.S. national debt. As global sentiment shifts and Israel faces increasingly economic and diplomatic sanctions, the U.S. government has taken drastic measures to shield it, damaging both American economic interest and the nation's international standing. Israel's zombie economy. Israel's economy is under significant strain. I crack myself up sometimes, okay? As a result of its genocide campaign in Gaza and to a lesser extent, the West Bank prompting increased U.S. intervention. Key vulnerabilities include zombie economy, BDS impact, tech sector collapse, tourism, port damage, bankruptcy, and weapons dependency. Israel economy contracted in Q2 2025, primarily due to, anyway, you can see all this. It's all listed out here. Here's Israel bonds purchased by state. Florida, $1.51 billion. Whoa. New York was second with $267 million. Ohio, Arkansas, Illinois, Texas, Indiana, Pennsylvania, Oklahoma, Louisiana, Mississippi, Queen, South Kakalaki, Georgia with 25 million, Zona, Roll Tide with 10 million, and Nevada and New Mexico were not reported with anything at the bottom, so they didn't vote that day. Cranberries, you know it. I can crank up some cranberries all day long. They were fantastic. Rest in peace, Dolores. She was named Dolores, the lead singer. If no one knows, she was named after her later sorrows. In the water is wet file, the Catholic Church has a manpower problem, fewer priests every year. One of Leo XIV's biggest quandaries is the question God himself asked, whom shall I send? It's in the book of Isaiah. Few are answering, here I am. Yeah, the church has a manpower problem, and it's getting worse. Wait till the old ones start dying. In a major shift, Trump says he now thinks Ukraine can win back all of its territory taken by Russia. You know, that little war that they were talking about, that before he got elected, he said that we're going to end 51 times on day one. It's September. Still going on. In Israel, government backlash is bruised over Palestinian state recognition. They are losing their mind. Did you see Mark Levin? Levin was furious about everyone coming out saying that Palestinian is a state. Speaking of furious and war, let's check out antiwar.com in the War Pigs edition of the program. Trump claims Ukraine can retake all territory. We already said that. Putin offers to extend new START treaty. U.S. officials' goal is regime change in Venezuela. Drink. Really? They're just going to head and go out and say it? Mr. President, peace. Goal is regime change in Venezuela. You know that's what we love. That's our best, how would you say? That's our best asset, right? That's what we do best. We regime change. Anybody wants to learn how to regime change? Just go to D.C., take some notes. Venezuela confirms Maduro sent letter to Trump seeking talks. Israeli Foreign Ministry threatens Gaza aid flotilla. Shocker. Israel kills dozens as it continues destruction campaign in Gaza. No one cares. They don't have they're not on Spotify. So no one can kill them all. Israel to forcibly expel Palestinians from West Bank settlement. Syria former AQ chief meets former CIA chief. Netanyahu idea of withdrawing from Syria buffer zone is a joke. Barak, is that Lebanon not taking action on Hezbollah? Kim opens the talks if U.S. drops denuclearization demand. Drone attack in Haiti kills at least 8 children, injures 6 others. Who dropped that, Joe? Let me see it, just in case. Who dropped the drone? We dropped the drone. Accountability. Who dropped a drone in Haiti? Get out of here. I don't want to hear you. Monday citizens, paper. So far, they don't have a clue, apparently, right? Here's the attack comes as Vectis Global Security firm, former U.S. Navy SEAL Eric Prince expects to deploy nearly 200 personnel from various countries to Haiti as part of a one-year deal to quell gang violence there. So that was a U.S. drone. On Sunday, UN Secretary General met with there. Did the UN do that or did the U.S. do that? Somebody killed people, and we don't have a clue who it is. Drone attack, gang controlled slum in Haiti kills at least 8 children, injures 6. So I guess it's like the, I guess we're taking a playbook out of the Solomon playbook of Israel, and it's one of those ideas you just take everyone out. Hannibal directive's another one. Here's one that didn't make the rounds. Over 60 Christians were massacred by Islamist militants in eastern Congo while at the funeral wake. Few headlines, few protests. Lord have mercy on the dead, comfort the grieving, and strengthen your church. Pre-share this. Silence must be broken. I don't think there's any other link. Someone did ask Grok, who knows? The massacre occurred on September 8, 2025 in North Kivu, Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo. Allied Democratic Forces, ADF militants linked to ISIS attacked the funeral wake in Toyo village, killing at least 70 people, according to the reports of Open Doors and other sources. Speaking of this, just read this one. Just, if you had a, like things are normal or anything like that, wait. The U.S. fought a 20-year war, really ongoing, endless, in the name of fighting Al-Qaeda, remember? Now the U.S. and leading war on terror general welcome a longtime Al-Qaeda leader on whose head DOJ had a bounty of $20 million less than a year ago because he serves the U.S. Here is Syrian President Ahmad el-Sharaa, sits down with former CIA Director David Petraeus in New York. You can't make this stuff up. Decentralized news, that $10 million bounty for having, to quote the FBI, established a foreign terrorist organization is so last year. Here's U.S. drops $10 million bounty on terrorist turned Syrian rebel leader Jolani. Stringer Theory, he's always great. Yeah, check his music out too. Maybe he's an Al Qaeda Mossad operative like the Crop Duster King. Yeah. Let me see what a decensored has going on. Since while they're bringing up, they got some good stuff. Yeah, hey YouTube, can you put my videos back up on the channel? They came out today. Well, people send your video directly to our policy statement. There was a lawsuit that went down that got okay that went after Google, YouTube for silencing people online. By the way, if you're wondering about why his name is different on here, for anyone who doesn't know, he used to go by Abdul Muhammad al-Jolani, among other names, and was named the, quote, specially designated global terrorist by the State Department in 2013. Up until less than a year ago, they offered a reward of $10 million for info on his whereabouts, signing his role in establishing, per the FBI's foreign terrorist organization. Now he's cool. Going Greenwald. Imagine being one of the thousands of Americans who were told you had to risk your life to destroy Al Qaeda, only to die doing so, and then watch your own government welcome a longtime Al Qaeda leader to your own country and have General Petraeus gently asking how he's holding up. Here's the quote: "Are you getting enough sleep at night?" Again, I've been there, and it's so very hard. And your many fans, and I'm one of them, we do have worries. Great googly moogly. This one is even worse, as he says. From enemies of in Iraq to besties in USA. David Petraeus, former CIA director, addressing Ahmad al-Sharaa, completely omits why Sharaa was detained in the first place. Quote, "When I was commanding the surge in Iraq, of course, detained by U.S. forces for some 5 years, including when I was a 4-star there, and how you are as the president of Syria. This timeline is absolutely insane. Also, the man responsible for countless Iraqi deaths is calling anyone murderers." You think we're going to vote harder out of this? This is nuts. Everyone watching should just go like, okay, get our boys home. Never fighting in the military again. UK threatens war with Russia. Foreign Secretary Yvette Cooper has said Russia is goading NATO in the war. Quote, "This opens the door to direct armed confrontation. I don't know any British citizens who would fight for Keir Starmer." And remember, Starmer yesterday brought the UK to digital ID. Let's see what after all that, let's see what the chats are saying. Cranberries are the Penguin, the Batman movies, the Kakalakis dropped it. Yeah. Let's see. Can't make this up. Nope. Make it make sense. You can't. They really think we're stupid. Yes, they do. yes, and yeah. Let's go on. Trump upbraids. Don't worry, there's worse coming up. Trump upbraids UN in speech claiming your countries are going to hell. Okay. Apparently his teleprompter didn't work out too. That's always going to go bad when he goes off script. Trump reveals plan for AI to control biological weapons after giving test terrifying warning. Good night, everyone. Skynet is under control. Once the future king, President DJT, announced that his administration will lead an international effort using AI to enforce the Biological Weapons Convention, calling it a potentially groundbreaking but risky initiative. You think? How risky? Give me the odds. What, one city destroyed, 2 cities. What is it? Which is going to be meeting at the top leaders of the world by pioneering an AI verification system that everyone can trust. Oh yeah, that's what. Yeah, we're in the government. Trust us. We're here for the government. We're here to help. Hopefully, the UN can play a constructive role, and it will be one of the early projects under AI. Let's see how good it is. A lot of people think it could be one of the greatest things ever, Trump added, but it could also be dangerous. But it could be, but to a tremendous use of in good. And this is an example of that. What else? So you had to try the teleprompter and the thing there. Here's video if you don't believe me. It's already in the show notes. Trump announces the AI verification system at the United Nations. Do you see what's happening? Yep. This I thought was great. Okay, here this guy Yar Netanyahu. I guess is that Netanyahu's kid? Does he have a kid? Maybe, I don't know. How many Netanyahus? Is there a whole Netanyahu clan or something? I don't know. Colleagues, yeah. AI bioweapon controlled. What could possibly go wrong? When you go in to hit the button. What do you think you're doing, Kyle? Yeah. Oh, he does have 2 kids, candlesticks. Thanks. I had no clue. All right, so one of his kids, or what happened, Macron comes out today or yesterday. I declare today France recognizes the state of Palestine. So Yar goes, I declare today that I recognize the state of Corsia, the state of New Caledonia, the state of French Polynesia, the state of Basque, the state of French Guinea, Guyana, the state of Mayotte, the state of La Réunion, and the state of Brittany. And I go, that's 100% what I want. You can look at him calling for decentralization and the opposite of 19th century nationalistic movement. 1,000% behind that reversal. Keep going, Europe. This works for the U.S. too, because again, the centralization of France. That was the unification of France. You got rid of those kingdoms into one. So you got the one president, Macron. When you had all these king monarchs and all that, when people say we want a monarchy, you got to get back to pre-19th century nationalism to be able to pull that off. Can do that. That'd be a good idea. And like I said, did you actually watch all the videos you upload to YouTube? Yes, I put them together. So one priest friend back in South Carolina used to say, yeah, this guy's the only guy that watched the listen to my sermons probably about 50 times. And yeah, sometimes back in the day, I would literally listen to a couple of them 10 to 15 times trying to figure out how I wanted to go with it. 3 candlesticks messed up. The corrections department got to him. He said 3. Sorry, just checked again. Okay, give him about 10 floggings for his mistake. We'll do that tomorrow. Just kidding. No, appreciate it. Wiki could be lying though. Wiki is the bastion of truth. But yes, I have watched every video that's uploaded on the channel. Maybe I missed 2 from maybe a Friar Anthony getting one by me once or twice, but yeah, everything that's put up in the 12 years I've uploaded. When someone asks who's posting everything, me. There's only me that's doing any of this. So yeah, and then it's always funny when someone says they can't hear the video. I have to literally put the stuff together so I can hear it. So I don't know why sometimes YouTube is kind of low or anything like that. Anyway, so yeah, that Netanyahu's kid talks about that. That's actually what we want. We want to get to that decentralization thing, that get rid of the unification idea. The 19th century nationalism that happened is a terrible thing, and you see today. Here is the great leader, Catholic leader in the world since he was up at the Kirk Memorial, Marco Rubio. There is no Palestinian state. The only thing there will ever be is there's a negotiation with Israel, which right now is impossible because they have a war going on with Hamas. The only leader in the world really that can broker that or bring that together is once a future king, President DJ2, who wants a front doggone beachfront property in the place where all these people are leaving. Didn't you see the video we put out with him and Benny sitting on a Mai Tai on the beach and all that? We got to get these people out so that we can get his son-in-law and all those guys make some money off the new real estate we're creating. We got to make Gaza American again. Does he have his on? Yes. Breaking. United States vetoes UN Security Council resolution demanding a permanent Gaza ceasefire and release of captives. Its 43rd veto to block measures against Israel. Vote 14 in favor, 1 against. 1 is the United States. Turning Point USA continues to be the fastest growing political organization in the world. Chapter requests have doubled from 60,000 to 120,000 since Kirk's memorial. Kirk's life goal is 20,000 chapters. PTUSA has now surpassed that with more than five times that amount. Someone jokes saying PTUSA is now the Daily Wire. Yeah, so. And remember, the military is talking about using it as recruitment thing. So, yay. Patel reveals FBI investigation theories surrounding Kirk assassination. Because we're investigating theories and questions, including the location of where the shot was taken, the possibility of accomplices, the text messages, all that, the angle of the shot and bullet impact, how the weapon was transported, hand gestures observed as potential signals near Charlie at the time of the assassination, and visitors to the alleged shooter's residence in the hours and days leading up to September 10th. This was yesterday that he posted this out. And you got Trey Gowdy up here saying stupid things. Bounty saying that the firing squad is still on the table in Utah. But apparently Kosh is saying investigating other theories. So see where that brings us. This was some crazy stuff I saw today. Does this come from Patel's good or bad eye? That's wrong, dude. Yes, Gowdy, and he's a South Carolina guy. He is trying to be charitable right now. Here's Alex Clark interviewing Andrew Superman Theory Covey. So you remember the Man of Steel theory, the Superman theory, that Kirk's bones were so strong that it was like the Man of Steel, the 30-06 couldn't go through it. That's the guy that came up with this. By the way, he's also a former follow-away Catholic. So he goes through this. Was Charlie offered $150 million from Israel? Was he becoming Catholic? Why did his team start taking down cameras immediately after the shot? Translation, why did they start messing with the crime scene? What was his marriage like behind the scenes of this day? The reason why I bring this up is because last week his wife said he was coming on for this show, coming on the interview, to talk about exactly these questions. So why did they bring Andrew, Mr. Superman Theory, in to do this? I mean, literally the questions were like, so how was the marriage between Erica and Charlie? I mean, why didn't you just bring Erica on? And then you saw people going, well, it might not have been a good time for Erica to sit down and do an interview. She just got done with a pep rally. She put the live feed on for an Instagram thing when she got over the corpse, and supposedly it was his corpse, over his hand. I love you so much. I didn't know she was an actress, by the way, either. There was a thing. She was on some kind of Hollywood show. I can't remember the name of it right now. I just saw the clip before we came on. What JD's like that too. Rubio is one too. Trump, all those, Zelensky, they're all like that. So very, very interesting that they brought in this guy who has made all kinds of excuses and weird stuff. I mean, seriously, who believes this guy after he just said that Kirk's bones were equal to the Man of Steel? I mean, that's a level of stupidity that we haven't shined the light on yet, but somehow he gets away with it. And none of the cheerleaders bring that up. We're just the narrative. You said 30-06. You said that his bones stopped at 38.6. Their words. Obviously we can change the caliber and all that stuff on this. Go like, hey, this theory doesn't work with that. That guy and Fox and all these other guys said this is the narrative. That came from that. There was a 30-06, and his bones were stronger than as strong as Superman. Who believes that dude after someone says something like that? And he has not changed that thing. As this is also fun to know, Charlie Kirk's executive producer, Andrew Covey, Mr. Superman Theory, says 277,000 people showed up at Kirk's memorial in Arizona. Here's the cool stuff, or not cool stuff. I'll break a little news down here. Our partners that do geotagging with devices told us that they tracked over 277,000 devices in the vicinity of the State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona. 277,000. We're tracking. We got the technocracy is coming, and people don't even notice it. Ben Shapiro calls it absurd to believe Israel played any part in Charlie Kirk's assassination. He argues there's no proof that Kirk was being blackmailed. He also says there is no indication that Kirk was shifting his stance on Israel, even though we have 50 hours of, maybe not 50 hours, maybe because we have 50,000 different variations of the same videos over and over saying that he was. But hey, why would I not trust Ben Zionist Shapiro? He is obviously the most convincing and honorable man in any job ever. So if Shapiro says it, it must be true. Here's Levin, when I brought it before. Break in UK, Canada, and Australia recognize Palestine. Mark Levin. This must be investigated by the Republican-controlled House State frickin' Qatar at it again. Please read this again. Now, remember, Levin is the reason why we ended up bombing Iran, because that little nutbag up there in Fox he's just as bad as any of these guys. I forgive me for listening to that guy back in the day. I used to like listening to him. Then something started clicking. So this guy's a wackadoo. Secret Service agents dismantled network that could shut down New York cell phone towers. Agents discovered electronic devices in 5 locations in and around the city that could be used to disable cell phone towers. The system could also be used for criminal activities. I was wondering what else could be used for. I thought it was like the draft for the Super Bowl. U.S. government post Pokemon video of ice raids saying, gotta catch them all. Again, Cloud Planet stuff. Let me see if it plays. Then I guess they got the Pokemon theme song in the background, by the way. Look at that thing. Again, it's just weird. Here's Larry Ellison, a media mogul like no other. The database billionaire and his son David are Trump's favorites. The family could soon control the empire that includes CBS, Paramount, Warner, CNN, and a piece of TikTok. And I keep bringing up Stargate. Here's the article on Stargate from day one. This is back in the article was written January 24th, 2025. This will happen as it goes on Tuesday. Once the future king president of DJT stood with the heads of SoftBank, OpenAI, and Oracle to announce investments of $500 billion for a new artificial intelligence company called the Stargate Project. Stargate will be building the physical and virtual infrastructure to power the next generation of advancements in AI, Trump stated at the press conference. Oracle co-founder Larry Ellison, OpenAI Sam Altman, he was over in England with him too, and SoftBank chief Masayo Son said that their corporate companies will invest $100 billion to kick the project up, with up to $500 billion expected in the near future. The investments will go towards building out artificial intelligence infrastructure in these United States. Yay! Again, yeah, no one still. I'm the only one in our circle. You watch on Catholic YouTube. No one else brings this up. Don't ask me why. Maybe you guys ask these guys why. Hey, stop simping for Trump. Stop being a brown nose. Stop being a cheerleader. Would you guys want to talk about this? Anybody want to bring up how many of these guys are talking about Trump saying AI is going to run the bio weapons now? Huh? Hey, time out. No, we're just going to keep on, kissing tail, putting up, make sure we got our roses hanging out and screaming at the crowd, kumbaya. Yeah, we got our own guys are so blind that they just want to go to Mar-a-Lago. Sorry, it gets a little feisty on that. It gets me a little going. One of the videos shows the flap shoot. Okay, we're still talking about the shooting. Sorry about that. You guys are still talking about that part. What if the past is CIA objectives and we saw we got shot? There's a lot of what ifs. Anyways, God love you. Have a great. Oh yeah, what I forgot about is this day in history. Stargate got me all worked up. This day, if I can spell this, THI. This day in history, 1846, Neptune observed. First person to observe Neptune happened this day. 2006, American folk musician Etta Baker died at age 93. 1987, American choreographer and director Bob Fosse died in Washington District of Criminals. In 1980, Jamaican musician Bob Marley, amen, who was especially known for popularizing reggae, performed his last concert. So he died the following year. 1969, the American film Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, great film, had its world premiere and it became a Western classic. 1949, American singer-songwriter The Boss, Bruce Springsteen, was born. 1939, Sigmund Freud, founder of modern psychoanalysis, died in London. 1932, or by royal decree, the dual kingdom of Hejaz and Najd, I thought it was the ketchup kingdom for a second, along with its dependencies, was unified under the name of Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. I did not know they got unification too. All these things just keep getting unified. 1869, Mary Malone, who later became known as Typhoid Mary, accused of causing multiple outbreaks of typhoid fever while working as a domestic servant in the U.S., was born in Ireland. 1868, a small group of Puerto Rican radicals committed independence attempted an uprising, El Grito de Lares. The revolt was crushed by the Spanish. 1862, Otto von Bismarck was appointed Prime Minister of Prussia by William I. 1806, Lewis and Clark arrived in St. Louis, Missouri at the end of their daring expedition to the Pacific Northwest. In 1779, during the American War for Independence, in the midst of naval engagement between the warships Beaumont, Richard, and Sarps off the east coast of England, American commander John Paul Jones answered a call to surrender from his English counterpart with the famous quotation, "I have not yet begun the fight." Anyway, God bless you. Have a great rest of the day. See you tomorrow. What is tomorrow? 24th. Our Lady of Ransom tomorrow. Anyway, again, happy feast day for St. Pio for the next couple hours. Again, if you guys didn't show, the guys came later, I mentioned that today is also the feast of the conception of St. John the Baptist. Anyway, have a great rest of the night. Talk to you later. God bless and appreciate everything. Thank you.